Boy, do I have a good replay to show you guys. Stick around. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought this tank was gonna be garbage. Just by looking at the stats, I thought, oh look, another piece of junk filler, loot box filler tank Wargaming created. And you can forgive me for thinking that, because let's look at the stats for a second. The DPM is below average, and it has 360 alpha, which you may think, oh, that's very good. But yeah, you know, the Barask has 360 alpha, and it's a 2-shot autoloader. And the STG Guard does 360, and that Chinese medium does 400, so it's not that crazy. The accuracy is mid. The gun handling is it's not that great. The top speed is pretty good. The health is mid. Camo and view range are also decent. But the armor, American mediums are kind of known for having a bit of armor. Not this thing. It's an auto pen on the side. For anything that's a 105 or bigger, or even a 90 mil, it would seem. So that's kind of sad. The only chance you have at bouncing anything is when you're using your gun depression, and you've got this, like, here, you got some spots that you may or may not pen, you know, they can bounce some things. Funnily enough, these machine guns are actually modeled, whereas on something like an IS-7, right, the IS-7 has machine guns similar to this, it's not modeled, but it is here, for whatever reason. 10 degrees of gun depression is great, but the penetration, yikes, 210 and 246, oof, not very good. So you'd think, oh, okay, another junk medium, okay? I should just ignore it, right, Chems? Well, for some reason, I just seem to have really good games in this thing. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Additionally, one thing that's kind of slept on is that the fact that it does 360, but the shell cost is only 641. Because, as far as I know, if I compare it to, like, I think, like, what does 360? An STB-1 does 360, right? So where's the ST? There it is. The shell cost is 1200, right? For 360. So this thing actually can make a lot of credits because of how cheap the shells are. Kind of slept on. What about the gold? 4,000? I think that's kind of average. 4,800? Yeah, it's nothing too crazy. And of course, I'm going to be firing all gold in this thing. I mean, I have 100 bajillion trillion credits. Why would I not? But if you're looking for a credit maker and you can make do with crappy pen, yeah, wow. 600 credits per shell and you do 360. Yeah, this thing can make credits. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's cheaper than tanks that have 320 alpha. Yeah, would you look at that? So like the AAT-60, I guess it's sort of similar in that it has no armor, right? This tank, yeah, there you go. No armor, 320, but the thing is the AAT-60 has good DPM and good gun handling, right? The IMT is kind of worse, but hey, oh shit, man. If the selling point is that the shells are cheap, it might be worth it. So Chems, okay, I get it. The stats are kind of crap, but you said this tank is kind of good, actually. Yes, it is. So I'm going to show you some of the gameplay now. Okay, here we are on steps, and this is actually a very good replay. It's very entertaining, and it's very close. It comes down to the wire. This is the type of replay that Quickie Baby might show in a video, like just by itself, not having to do with a tank review or anything. So that's pretty cool. Not to hype it up too much, but as you can see, I am loading full gold, of course, because, you know, I have a bajillion credits, right? But I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to play a little bit aggressively because I'm top tier. There's a bunch of tier 8s here. And looking at the enemy team, they have two 703s, which will probably go to the heavy flank, a Barask, who I don't think would come over here right off the rip, and everything else is not scary. Plus, I've got people supporting me from behind. So I'm going to rush all the way to this corner and get into a nice little hull down. And, oh, a stock IS. That's kind of like the stereotype for shitty stock grinding. I feel kind of bad for this guy. I mean, look at him. He's just trying to grind his freaking tank, man. I'm sorry, dude. But like, you know, maybe next time don't go there. Maybe go there. Okay? Okay, good. I hope you learned your lesson. Anyway, let's keep farming. And, you know, 360 alpha is quite nice. Not gonna lie. It's pretty nice. So, Obviously, when you get to here, the idea is that you've got a nice, like, crossfire hull down for when people come over here. But nobody came over here. So what's going to end up happening is we're going to snipe for a little bit, but we can't really do much more than that. And as you can see, the Centurion with his little pea shooter can't go through my turrets. I think he could if he got a little luckier or aimed a little better. But see, it's hitting the gun mantlet there, and it seems like it's... There's 2 ricochets and also 2 holes on the gun mantlet. What the hell is going on here, actually? So, the shells went through the gun mantlet, but lost so much penetration it didn't go through the turret front. That's very interesting. Anyway, so, as you can see, instead of driving down that way and getting shot by a bunch of snipers, I'm gonna get over here because it's there's a ridge here to protect me, right? Additionally, you can shoot people that are over here. So, you can't always come here. You have to look at the map and gauge, right? I don't believe there's anybody over here, and I don't think they have quite a shot on me anyway. So, it's relatively safe to do this. And look at that. This, like I said, this alpha damage is quite nice. Of course, like, a Barask would utterly be shitting on this guy, right? Because they would be putting 2 shots for every time I put in 1 shot. And I guess you could say, well, the Barask is going to miss a lot more often than this thing will, which is fine. That's true. And sometimes you like the sustained output as opposed to an autoloader. Now, I'm taking a bit of a risk here, but I wasn't spotted, right? So nobody's going to be aimed at me, pre-aimed. I come up, I poke, shoot, miss, come back. Okay? I'm not going to poke this again because they're going to be aiming now. So I'm going to go somewhere else. I get to over here and then I realize that's not ideal. I wasn't expecting that SU to be over there. Honestly, I usually expect TDs to be more so over here and there, not really over there. But he's over there, so oh well. And I'm getting a few ricochets because although the side is an auto pen, the front can ricochet, and I'm poking only the front here, as you can see. So hopefully this Barask can bounce his second shot. And no, he didn't bounce his second shot. That's rather unfortunate. I'm now on 400 HP. So, coming over here wasn't the best play. And I realized, you know, I gotta leave before that Barask reloads because I won't be able to leave once he's reloaded. So let's just back it up. That was pretty lucky. Hey, look, man. Look. You gotta get lucky from time to time, okay? Every good game has just a little bit of luck. And this is about as much luck as I get. Although I think I vaguely remember maybe I bounced a few more shots, but that's about it. But as you can see, I don't know if we're losing the other side of the map, but they're fighting, right? There's things going on over there, and there's no hope of us ever breaking through this. Like, just look at the map for a moment. Look at where all the people are dug in. You will never break that. Don't bother wasting all your HP, throwing it all away, trying to break something that cannot be broken. In that breaking a camp. So instead, I'm going to come back and support my team from losing this side of the map. We're sort of giving up map control, but I don't know how to explain this. The map that we are controlling didn't really help us much. Making it all the way to this ridge was good for a little bit, but it's kind of useless now. There's not much else to do. So I'm willing to give it up. In fact, it's actually... It's a rare time where giving up map control is actually good. Because if you give up map control, it'll convince the enemies to move up and leave their camping positions. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a rough situation here. Wasn't expecting that. I'm getting quite lucky again. But I guess this is the difference between like a light and a medium. I do have at least a little bit of armor that can auto ricochet from time to time, right? Anyway, so we're at 4,000 damage already, which is pretty impressive, right? 4,000 damage, you wouldn't expect that from how much I've done this game. And, yep, you thought, dude, you thought. Not quite, okay? So, now we're definitely at exactly 4,000 and I'm on 4 kills. And this guy's coming, okay? Let's turn around. Who's quicker on the draw? I'm pretty quick, but I also have 150 ping. So you know what? Fine. This TS can take the hit. Okay, there. Fine. You get the kill. So, now what? We're still down HP, right? It says we're even on kills, but we're down 1,000 HP. What would you do in this situation? As a one-shot on 150 HP? Well, first you would hold Alt and look at your team. Everybody is basically a two-shot. We can't really push anything unless we all push together. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, you see where that SU-12244 is? He's kind of like in the middle there, around bushes and rocks. If I get to this here, like, little elevated position, I can shoot him, which will be good for my team. I don't think the AMX is here. I think he left because he's alone now. And his auto-loading gun only has so many shells. Let's see if I can shoot this SU-122. Okay, I can't really see him. Do I take a blind shot? I didn't get spotted, so he's probably over there. Because there's... How do I explain? There's two bushes in between, so he won't see me, right? Double bushed type of thing. I can't remember if those blind shots hit. Let's see. He is a two-shot. The SU-12244 is a two-shot. Let's see if he's a one-shot by the time he's spotted again. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. So I'm doing spotting checks right now. I go into that bush. I didn't get spotted. Okay, their light tank isn't anywhere nearby because the light tank is pretty much the only thing that's realistically going to spot me through bushes. The SU just killed that 50 TP. So that SU has moved up. And okay, I did blind hit him. Splendid. Alright, let's... There we go. 5 kills. But yes, that SU killed him. So he's probably around here, right? How else would he have gotten a shot? Unless maybe you can get a shot across. I'm not sure. And I thought I almost died there for a second. That looked like a bit of a jump. So this TS-54, it's not a terrible idea. I mean, he is hull down, and if the SU shoots him, he might get spotted. However, he is still kind of isolated and alone. And so I'm going to try and support him. In the event the SU does in fact shoot the TS-54 and gets himself spotted, I can support him. However, he's not spotted, so let's see. Let's get some blinds in here. Did that hit? I'm not sure. The SU is also a two-shot, so let's see if he's a one-shot the next time he gets spotted. So there's the base of the tree, and that's where he's most likely will be, right? Because he knocks the tree down forward and then sits in front of it. Or in it, I should say. Forward from where the pivot or the trunk would be. Oh, it's a lot of yapping. Anyway, this TS-54 is insisting on moving up. Fine. If you can spot the... If you want to spot the SU for me, okay, fine. But you will die. But spotting the SU will be useful to get a shot into him. So, is the SU going to spot or shoot him? If I was the SU, I would shoot him because he's a one-shot, right? It's a very good shot to take. But the T-54 Mod 1 just got spotted in our base. And I'm looking... This TS-54 is turning around and he's not even looking at the SU. So this leads me to believe he's not spotted, right? If you're spotted, you probably aren't going to give the back of your turret and hull to the enemy. So it seems as though that the SU did actually move up to somewhere over here. Neither of us got spotted or shot at, and so he's probably not there. So the SU's moved up. We can have that reasonable assumption. Now, who definitely moved up is this T-54 Mod 1, right? So we're in a bit of a pickle. None of us really have enough HP to take a shot from him. The Progetto can, unless the T-54 high rolls, then he will kill the Progetto. The TS though, he can take a shot, so we're waiting on him right now. And all these guys here, they're pretty good, right? They're not rushing in to get themselves killed. They're waiting for this guy with HP. The only thing is, if one light tank gets right here, we're all cooked, bro. I'm a one-shot, he's a one-shot, he's a two-shot. He could kill us. His entire magazine could kill 3 of us. But there's not much else to do, right? We don't have much options here. And look at this. This is actually amazing. It is a good idea to spread out and cover as much ground as you want, but we don't really have that option. So we're all sticking together and moving in unison. And this E25 has drowned over there. I didn't even know you could drown there. But look at this. It's almost as if we're like in a 4-man platoon. And that's why this game is extremely close, because despite the fact we only have 900 HP between us, We're playing like a 4-man platoon. And this is gonna help us. I get lit, and I'm like, oh fuck. Who's lighting me? It might be somebody over there, but this guy just got spotted. Now, despite the fact that he's a one-shot, and if he YOLOs me, I will certainly get the first shot off and kill him, I'm actually ducking in over here because it's not him that I'm worried about. It's the AMX, wherever he is. He could be over there and shoot me. Now, look at my team. They've moved up. The AMX will shoot them before they shoot me, so then I can move up a little bit. But he died, so now I can play more safely. So I think this AMX is over there, and our ally just got killed, so he is over there. So it's time to leave, because I can't dig him out. And I just realized, I think the AMX 1375 does 130 alpha damage. So I'm not actually a one-shot for him. Which is probably why I'm playing a little more, like, pokey, like, sticking my tank out more than usual. But I want to stay in this position, because this is a good spot. Overlooking everything, and yeah, it's kind of a shit camp, right? It's kind of a base camping shit camp position, but it's useful. So here I am. Let's see. Let's weigh our options. The Progetto's hanging with me in a similar position. This is actually pretty good, and the TS is moving up because he has HP to do so. That's also pretty good. And of course, the SU can one-shot him, but as long as he puts a shot into the SU and makes him a one-shot, that's good enough, right? If everything's a one-shot, it'll come down to vision. And the SU is not going to spot anything on his own, but the AMX definitely will. Which is why we're camping. We will never outspot the AMX 1375, right? Like, he sits in a bush there. The moment you move, you get spotted. He has to make the move. That's the only option. How else are you going to dig out a light tank? There is no other way. This is why we're camping. The TS has actually gone into an interesting position there. Look at that. He's going to proxy anybody that comes around this. And by the time they turn and get their gun on him, he'll probably, like, get a double off. So, I would say everybody that was alive, including that person that just died. Who was it that just died? This guy. This Skoda T-set. Everybody here played very well. Good job to all these guys. Melee 999. Artifacts 98. And, I can barely see it. It's kind of... Afrasiab 42. So, here, look. There's 40 seconds left. I think if he's in that bush and spots me and kills me, I don't care. Okay? The game's about to end. Fuck, I don't care if it's a draw. What difference does it make if I die in the last 30 seconds if it's going to be a draw anyway? He actually misses and gets himself lit. I'm like, okay. I guess I can put 2 shots into this guy and kill him. But God knows where that SU is, right? This TS-54 is paying attention. He's like, okay, we've got little time left, and he's right there. And holy shit, what the hell? Oh my god, I bounced. The TS-54 gets a shot into him. The Progetto gets a shot into him and actually kills him. No, he missed. And I'm like, oh fuck, he missed? Okay, shit. Reload. Got him. Okay, we got 12 seconds. This SU's coming. Go! He actually bounced again. Because I'm guessing he auto ricochet or whatever. Move up. Okay. I held my shot for as long as possible to get as close as possible because I had to hit that shot, but he got it before I could. Look at the timer. 0000. Top Gun. That was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was pretty good. So, yeah. What can I say? That was a pretty interesting match. So, it's... I think like 10 minutes ago, I was on 4k damage. And then in like 10 minutes, I managed to do an extra 600. But that's not what was important, really. The damage wasn't important. What was important was how we played. For example, if I had just sat there, and I think I was on 150 HP by the time I left. No. I took a shot from the AMX. I was a one-shot to the Barask and the SU. I was a one-shot to them. If I had poked one more time or did that and died, game over. Right? Game over. I left, I came back, I helped win this flank. And we made smart plays. Me and the TS-54 knew that we can't dig out this SU. It's not gonna happen, right? Especially when they have a light. Leave. Let's get out of here, okay? There's a guy over here. We have to take care of him before he gets shot in our ass. And while we're dealing with him, it may convince the other guys to move up, which I think it did. Well, the AMX definitely moved up, and I think the SU was sitting there for the majority of the game. after he was there, he moved to there. I think that's what he did. So we came back, went into very defensive positions because we didn't have enough HP to make any plays. The timer ran down, and it convinced these guys who had more HP than us, right? They had more HP. It convinced them to attack, and we got them. Up there, after 40 seconds, I realized, shit, right? If this is going to be a draw, then I don't need to conserve my HP anymore, right? If I die, this TS-54 is not going to die. It'll be a draw, right? It doesn't matter. So I'm going to go in. I don't care. Doing that actually got the AMX spotted. I come up here, and luckily, just in time, the SU was here. If I had left 10 seconds later, the SU would have been in this bush and killed me. So that was good timing. Anyway, I hope that this replay was informative to you. I like showing replays off like this, where there's a lot of thinking going involved, and I explain it all to you guys. To be fair, sometimes I sort of make up things because this replay is 3 months after all old, and when I'm watching it, I'm trying to think, what was I thinking at the time? And usually I'm 95% accurate, but every so often I'm like, oh, I actually did this when I thought I should have done this, right? It is what it is. You get the point though. Don't try to play a losing game. Don't try to break a shit camp like this. It's not gonna work, okay? Weigh your options. Go back. You know, everything I said, basically. I don't need to repeat myself. All right. Let's go on to the next replay. All right, we're on Fisherman's Bay. Ugh, Fisherman's Bay? Ugh. But we're fighting tier 6s, so that's pretty cool. And yes, of course, I'm showing you replays where I'm fighting tier 6s, okay? I know. I like fighting higher tiers, but when it comes to this thing, it doesn't really have the pen. It doesn't have anything super special about it, so it's just an uphill struggle. You do get more damage out, but it's more boring gameplay, right? Sniping and all that. Whereas here with tier 6s, I can afford to be a little more aggressive, so that would make for a more interesting replay for you guys. Anyway, I come here and hope that I can spot something, because there's an EBR Hotchkiss here who's, well, he's passive scouting. Yeah, buddy, it would be more useful if you just quickly did a little loop, where you just go like that. Go around this building right here, you'll spot the heavies crossing, and then I can shoot them, and you get assist. But he didn't do that. Oh well. So, is there someone here? There's always someone here. However, you can never see if there's someone there. But they always seem to be able to see you. I don't know how that works. The game is rigged against me. You know, that sort of thing. Klaus was right. But, yeah. Interesting. Do you guys see that video of Klaus talking about the CC program thing? Where he was like... He, like, straight up said... I'm surprised none of the CCs spoke out to support Ayuxin. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Me and Kaizu did that, both. Do you just not pay attention? Or is the only CCs that exist in your mind is Quickie Baby and maybe Skill? Are these the only two CCs you know of? And then he starts... Just boomers, man, okay? Look, if you're a boomer, I'm sure you're great. But your other boomer companions are horrendous, okay? You guys, not you, but you guys in general, just have this really strange, like, arrogance to you. He's patting himself on the back saying, I'm exposing assholes, because he has a series, What Biggest Assholes, and it's like, wow, man, you're really doing God's work, showing replays of people fucking pushing people out, or saying mean things in chat. You're really doing God's work there, man. Oh, get yourself a beer, as they would say. And, like, I guess, yeah, sure, exposing the riggers that, like, you know, ruin matches. Okay, you expose them. You're really doing God's work, huh? Like, yeah, I don't know. I find it kind of funny. That generation loves... I mean, they call themselves, like, the greatest generation. And, oh, we're so great. And, like, I'm sure you've seen a week ago I did my content nuke for wargaming, talk about Ayuxin and pedals and all that. And I'm not sitting here asking you to pat me on the back. I did it because I felt like it was needed to be done. I don't know, like, don't you think? Like, there's clearly so many injustices, and very few people have a platform to speak up. And the ones that do don't want to speak up, right? Yeah, you know, Quickie Baby skill, wargaming, you know what I mean? So they're not going to speak up. Kaizu is like, he's the best. This guy is like the most real person, so to speak. I don't know how to explain it. World of Tanks is full of gamers, right? Like, Quickie Baby is not so much. He's kind of a real person. I could see me meeting him in real life and talking to him. But like skill, he just kind of seems like an antisocial, like, weirdo. You know, awesome epic guys type. But Kaizu is great. And if you're wondering, Kebs, why you're yapping again? Yes, it's Fisherman's Bay, okay? Let me just... It'll get interesting, actually. Trust me, it will. But right now, I'm padding for time, okay? But yes, boomers, man. They really love praise. A lot of times unrightfully earned, I guess, or unjustly. And get fucked, M6. Get fucked. You see that shit? Oh, man. I mean, it's not... He was a one-shot M6. I would have driven into the town and killed him anyway, but I guess fine. I mean, I'll take that. There seems to be a half-health T-32. That wasn't a very good shot, but, you know, whatever. I have to kill him, okay? I'm full health. He's a T-32 against tier 6s. Like, I don't think tier 6s are going to pen him, so it's really up to me to kill him. And that's what you have to think. Even though this is not really like a brawling medium or whatever, if you're top tier and there's an enemy top tier, you gotta kill him. And look, I can just snipe him here. This is perfect. I don't even have to brawl him. But if I have to brawl him, I will. And you can see I'm approaching him because I have to kill this guy. And he gets killed. And now the next target, Object 416. He has to die next, okay? He's quite dangerous. He's got a very good gun. So as you can see, I'm going for it. This is kind of a losing fight. He has more DPM than me. And I don't really have armor to bounce him. So, it doesn't matter though. I'm top tier. I have to do it. If I don't do it, no one else is going to do it. And then we lose. Because they walk all over our team. Anyway, this was kind of unfortunate. Yes, I get to kill on him. But now the 416 knows I'm here. And I don't have the element of surprise, right? If I had the element of surprise, I could get a shot into him for free. And then his DPM advantage won't be so pronounced because he'll be starting on less HP, right? Right there, he's not full. He takes another shot from me. He'll be on like maybe 2/3 or 3/4. Then I could probably win a DPM fight. And I just got spotted there. And I'm not really sure how he spotted me. So you can see I'm zooming out like, where the fuck is he to spot me? I actually have no idea. I don't see any bushes that are that obvious. Yeah. Strange. So at this point, I'm completely lost. Like, I don't know where this guy is. I'm gonna play extremely passively, but as you can see, we're losing to the other side. I have to kill this guy. I want to kill this guy. If I was in something like, I don't know. I don't really play mediums much, but let's say I'm a renegade, you know, solid DPM, all that. I'll charge in. I'll take shots from him. That's fine, okay? And... all right. He wasn't paying attention. Okay, good. 700 HP. He's a 2-shot now. Now, this was before I realized you can't side scrape in this thing. I thought you could, but you can't. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so now he's a 1-shot. I'll probably take another shot for this. That's okay. He has to die, right? And, yeah, see, I'm trying to side scrape. And, oh, what? 331 and he's left on 1 HP? And look at this. Look. Oh, what the fuck? And at this point, I'm like, no, I'm not going to take another shot from him. I can't. If I take another shot from him, I'll be on such low HP that an Arty Splash will kill me. The Roomba, I'm a 1-shot to the Roomba if he high rolls, right? I cannot lose more HP. I have to, look, here, look at the one line, all right? I wasn't paying attention because I was fighting this guy. It looks like they took care of the Panther 2. There's not a dire need to win this flank quickly now, right? So, okay, I don't need to poke or do any of that anymore. And, of course, isn't that funny? Why does this happen so often to me? He's 1 HP. I could auto-ricochet him, right? He's not paper thin, right? Especially his turret. I load HE. Fucking finds a way to his gun mantlet somehow. It was just like in the Griffin video. That fucking, what was it? What was the tank that I shot with HE? And it armor not hit and he got a return shot into me and I lost all my HP. I don't quite remember, but what the fuck is that, man? Anyway, look, that's the line of thinking. It got to a point where I lost too much HP, okay? I cannot lose any more. That's a Roomba. That's it. RHM Borsig Waffenträger. He is going to camp the base and we'll never see him. So, there's a pretty much 90% chance that he's going to get the first shot off. And if I'm a one-shot, I'm dead. No, we can't have that. However, I have enough HP to take a shot from him. So, if I take a shot from him, he gets spotted. I put a shot into him, and the E25 finishes him off. That will be good. Although, it says he's full health. Yeah. He hasn't been spotted this entire game, but the E25 is full health, right? So, as long as I don't die instantly, me and this E25 can take out the Borsig. Because neither of us are one-shots, right? So this is good. Conserving my HP was the right play. And look, oh my goodness, I'm playing with Sabrina Carpenter. Oh my god. To be honest, I don't really give a fuck about any of these super hot actress women on the internet. Like, I don't give a fuck about Sydney Sweeney, okay? You know, it's very funny. But before that, we're trying to look to see. He's not here. The Borsig's not here. So we're going to move up and try to spot him through these bushes. But yeah, like, I work with a lot of boomers. And they jokingly call me gay. Before that, though, I'm hiding behind this building in case there's a Borsig there or there. So I'm going to wait till I'm unspotted before I move up. Because where else is he going to be? But yeah, they jokingly call me gay because I don't lust after women the way they do. Like, for example, they'll show me, like, a picture on their phone, like, oh, isn't she hot? And I'll be like, yeah, sure, dude, whatever. And they're, like, dumbfounded by the fact that I'm not, like, drooling after someone. Gen Z and boomers are so different, man. But yeah, look, me and the C25 were not spotted, so we're gonna go this way. And look at this. 2 replays with fantastic teamwork. That's what World of Tanks is all about, really. That's the games that you're chasing. Really, I'm gonna be real with you. A very high damage game, it's good. You feel like you accomplished something. But a decent or mid damage game that had a lot of teamwork and you won a tough game, that's peak, by far, the best. That's what's fun. Anyway, this guy's over here. Okay, let me support you. There we go. This E25 is just going fucking full in because, of course, he can take a shot from him. And, oh my god, holy shit. That was based. Yeah, there we go. I did not end up needing to use the remaining 580 HP I had that I tried so desperately to conserve, but it was still the right play, I think, right? I did not know I needed this HP to take a shot from the Borsig, so I had to tone it down with the aggression on that 416. It wasn't necessary in this match, but it could have been, and that's the kind of thinking you need to have while playing these matches, right? This is how you win games. Anyway, so, like, that's 3.7 or 3.8 thousand damage. Oh, not too bad. Like I said, I thought this tank was going to be garbage. Really. But I seem to have pretty good games in it. And like, this is like kind of a rare, like, sort of gem. Not the tank itself, but the fact that Wargaming added something that's like not overpowered, but good and fun. Well, fun relative to all the other premiums they add. But yeah, that's what I meant by balanced, right? It's not super overpowered, it's not super crap. Unfortunately, there are so many good tanks. These things don't really sell anymore, but yeah, if you want like if you want a tier 8 American medium, like specifically American medium, and you know, you like the Super Pershing, but you're looking for something else, I guess you could go for this thing because it's got the highest alpha, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I would just go for the Astron Rex, but yeah, it's okay though. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.